Good afternoon, audience. Daniela and Sofia here. The topic of today's podcast, as you probably read in the title, is the problem food causes to our environment, a real and important issue in our society. To start us off today, we have an interesting story. Pancho, a boy with a strong opinion about meat consumption. Pancho is a vegetarian, and he tells us, "Hi, I'm Pancho, and I have been a vegetarian since high school. I think you shouldn't eat meat. It's not necessary at all, and it's cruel. You know, animals have feelings too, like us, but they can't say it. They cannot defend themselves. How can somebody be so cruel? Did you eat your pets? No, because you know they have feelings and you love them. Ghosts have feelings too. And I don't see anyone thinking twice when they eat their hamburger. And also, we need to help the environment, but not eating meat is also perjudicial to the land. Sophie, what are your thoughts on the situation?
Well, Danny, I'm in conflict here. I agree with Pancho. We do eat too much meat. But I don't know if not eating meat is a healthy diet. It's a protein, and we kind of need it to survive. I'm glad we're here to talk about this today.
You're right, it's good to be able to bring the podcast even in quarantine. We should bring someone in to give us some information about the good topic.
Please welcome our food specialist, Maisa Iñiguez. Maisa, how are you today?
Hi, Daniela and Sofia. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
What have you been doing in this quarantine?
Saving the world by staying home, as all of us.
Well, that's great. Now, I believe you have some information about the impact of food in the environment. I think Sophie wants to know if not eating meat can harm your health.
Yes. Well, as you know, we have to be aware of the way we consume our food and what it does to the environment. Many factories produce gases that are harmful to both our health and our planet. Also, the maintenance and production of some animal products can cause the use of many chemicals, which are wrongly used. This is where ideas like chicken meat with grown asteroids come from. They can actually have repercussion in our health if we don't check what we eat. This is something many people don't acknowledge in their daily lives, and as well as you know, the secret of a good diet is balance. So, you can leave the meats, but you also have to control your diet, searching for the nutrients in other different alternatives.
So, are you saying it is possible to be healthy and not eat meat?
Indeed, it is. There's a documentary called The Game Changers that talks about how major athletics can reach their ideal stamina and preparation without the help of proteins. They do, however, replace it with supplements. But they are athletics with a strict requirement, and yet they maintain a healthy lifestyle.
That is very interesting. Well, Maisa, we need to move on with the show now, but it was great having you here.
I'm always here with information. Thank you for asking about it.
Thank you for sharing this with us. Stay safe and inside. Be careful, and we hope to see you sometime soon.
Thank you. You too.
Well, that was interesting. Who knew that we can live without eating meat? But now, before we move on with our topic, here is the question of the day.
What is the percentage of GMO crops in the world? Is it A, 67%, B, 86%, or C, 78%?
That's a good question. I don't think I know the answer. Do you, Sophie?
I have a guess, but I think we need more information.
And now, we are joined here by our guest speaker, Liam Sanchez, a specialist in nuclear physics who, for some reason, it's going to explain the situation of GMOs.
Oh, hey! Good afternoon, Daniela and Sophia. It's good to be back. And yes, once again, I'm a nuclear physicist talking about genetically modified organisms.
Who invited this guy again?
Liam, it's great to have you here with us.
Yeah, you're here again. Anyways, you will explain that GMOs are and why they are being polemic, right? What can you tell us about this?
Eh? Oh well, yeah. Well, the thing is here that I can tell you for certain that food and animals have been modified for years by a little process you may know as evolution. Now you may be asking, what's the difference between evolution and GMOs, right? Because that's what I'm gonna answer anyway. The fact is that while evolution and selective breeding is made by luck, the GMOs we can actually choose what traits we want. There's the possibility of accidentally mixing both GMOs and natural crops and having an unwanted species. GMOs have also been reported to be found in places they weren't planned. This causes the risk of GMOs going out of control to become bigger. There's the big difference between GMO plants and non-GMO plants, as GMO plants are tested to see if they have any danger, you could say, in them. This is checked due to the high amount of chemicals used to enhance and or to detain, whatever the case is, certain things related to the modifications.
So, what we eat is actually made up by scientists and then planted in the earth? Isn't that bad for our health? Why is this even allowed?
You see, the thing is, they aren't all that bad. GMOs can also help us save and protect nature. It can help us reduce our impact on the environment. For example, they can help cure or prevent plants from acquiring, Brett said, uh, certain viruses, you could say, or diseases. There are also many studies that try to contribute to the enhancement of the vitamins and minerals that natural or normal fruits and vegetables can provide. Lastly, genetic modifications can help make plants more resilient and it helps to climate changes and sometimes they are strong enough to allow farmers to use non-nocive pesticides and to remove pests and that sort of stuff, but aren't dangerous for their health. And the thing is that in the future we might even be able to make them super effective carbon collectors, so we could not only reduce the impact of it, but reverse climate change.
So they can be good for our health? Does this mean we should eat many of them?
They're both good and bad. They can help our environment and they can provide more vitamins and minerals than regular foods, but eating them in excess, yeah, well, can be harmful for your health and as well as their excessive use in agriculture. They can take up too much of the nutrients in the soil and harm other plants.
I think that, as always, anything isn't bad on its own. It depends on the use. But it's evident how this is the future of our diets and the future solution to all the food problems in the world. It's amazing how science is advancing exponentially through the decades, and I'm truly excited to know how this will benefit our life in a not too far away future. What do you think, Daniela?
Indeed. Hopefully, in the future, the GMO could find his balance with all our diets, but I don't think we can trust it in actuality. We must move with caution. Besides, nothing will never replace natural food.
Those are both valid points of view in this situation.
Well, thank you for being here today, Liam. You certainly helped clear up a lot of things.
And thank you for having me. And well, I enjoyed talking about it, and I enjoy a lot the payment way.
We'll be right back here in the studio after this special ad from today's sponsors.
Hey there, it's me, Profrosky Krasowski. And you may be asking, is this another infomercial? And you're absolutely right. Now I present to you something that our little Japanese contributors call the Gestalt Project. You may be asking, what's that? Well, the Gestalt Project, also known as Super Meal, is a meal that contributes to your body in a way that it prevents you from overeating. Now you may be asking, what's the catch? There must be a catch. Well, that's the thing. There is no catch.
We're back here in the studio, and once again, this is the end of another podcast.
As always, we've had a great time here today. We hope you enjoyed this podcast.
We learned much about gym use and the relationship between food and the environment. We had our food expert Maisa Iñiguez talk about the impact of food in our environment. We also had nuclear physicist Leon Sanchez join us again to explain the pros and cons of gym use. We learned a lot today. Now we can form a judgment about all these controversial topics about our diet and environment. Maybe no, we might consider becoming a vegetarian, or maybe we might start consuming GMO products without fear. We really hope this great information have an impact on your daily lives.
Well, that was all on our part. We hope you had a good time, learned a couple new things, and maybe consider joining us again. We have a really good time being here to inform you on the latest news.
And the answer to today's question is C. 78% of the crops in the world are GMO crops.
Thanks for listening. We will see you next time with some other topics about nutrition. This was the MSL.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned to hear our thoughts about the latest words on the governmental take regarding the coronavirus situation in our country.